When I was a child in Cuba, I come from a very small town in Cuba, and I had an aunt that she was an art teacher. She gave me books, colors, oils, small pieces of canvas, because in Cuba, if you weren't with the government, they didn't give you anything. You couldn't get no colors, no canvas, because you were supposedly leaving the country and leaving the revolution, whatever. I left Cuba when I was almost 15 years old, so I never went to a museum in Cuba. I never saw art, real art in Cuba. So my first experience is when I went to Spain the first week. I went to the Prado. I told the guard, what is the Goya's black paintings? Because it's like you losing your virginity in a way. So he took me, you go this way and that way, and then I went almost blindly. And when I look at it, the experience was incredible. There's one thing that I always liked, that I always knew I wanted to be a painter. I didn't want to be a filmmaker, a sculptor. I just love paint, and I always wanted to do it. I came here, I found some friends that were similar taste. We share certain affinities, and through them I found some people who like my work. I already started to work in a manner which I thought reflect my experience. And my experience is somebody who is between cultures, because I'm not, I left Cuba, I left Spain, I left here, I went back, and it's always very confusing, because what exiles give you is a sense of that you don't belong anywhere, in a sense. But also, it's terrible, but it's great, because you're able to grasp different cultures, different influence, that otherwise you never would be able to do it. Somebody came to my house, a good friend. He's a well-known writer. He lives in Spain, and he bought several of my pieces. He loved my work, and we immediately got to know each other. We understood each other very well. He offered me to do children's books. And then I went back to Spain with him, and I spent a year doing children's books in the day and my work at night, which is actually it's like night and day. And the children's books, I did it for surviving, because I used to sell a little bit there, a little bit, but the other had helped to pay the rent and pay the food and everything. And the otherwise, I always had the principle of doing what I want to do. I hate to make commitments or change my work to doing something commercial that people like. I just want to paint. I just want to do my own vision, and that brings me to say that it's an obsession, that I have to do it. Otherwise my life can't look myself in the mirror in the morning if I don't do what I want. In 1987, I was commissioned to do a painting for the Pope and his visit to Miami by FIU University, and I did it. I'm not religious in the regular way, but personally my work is very religious, and the way I approach what I do, I'm very serious. I sacrifice many things to do what I want to do, and to me it's like praying to nobody. I mean, it's something very private, and also it's in such a way that one of my favorite painters is El Greco, which was a very religious painter, and but what I feel I get from him is the feeling, the essence of the thing, and a beautiful experience, because I really admire the Pope, even what he did as a person, as a leader of the world. I believe in discipline, and I don't break it for anything. For example, on Sundays I never paint. I don't even want to know what a painting is. It's a day that I don't exist as a painter. I needed a day of reflection, of silence. Gandhi had a day that he didn't talk to anybody. So if Gandhi did it, why not me? I like where I live a lot. I'm contrary to what I do in my work, which has a lot of changes and a lot of risk taking. I try to keep my everyday life like very normal, very routinary in a way. I walk almost every day at the same time. I walk to the pub, do a little bit of exercise, drink my coffee 8 blocks away, come back, think. It's a kind of meditation in a way. And then I come back and work at the same time. I have lunch at the same time every day. Then I have a little siesta, keep working. I always painted. I never done anything else. Been living out of my work always. Then I met Demi at this show that I had. It was called Viva Tristan. It was an homage to the Dadaist Tristan Tzara. And I had a big piece with 2 eyes, the big head of Tristan with 2 eyes, which I cut it.
Holes.
Yeah, 2 holes. So Demi was on the other side and I was looking at her through the holes. And she was looking at me through the holes also. So it was very funny. We met and then after that, we fell in love. We went to Spain and I had a show in Spain that year. I had a grant also, a Cinta Fellowship that gave me 1 year staying in Madrid. So I took her. She left her job, left everything, and came with me to Madrid. And
I always say that I fell in love with his paintings because we met in a gallery. So I first in love with his paintings, and then afterwards I fell in love with him.
Yeah, it's a long process. We live in the same house. I like to work in my own space, my own house, and so does she. We work in one end of the house from another. The only thing we share is the music. It can be flamenco, can be Miles Davis, it can be anything, Tibetan music, Indian music, whatever, Bach. The thing is that I always choose the music, and she always likes it, so that's a great help. And mostly also we work in different mediums. Usually I work in oils, which is a very different process. I also work in acrylics and whatever, watercolors, drawings, but she only works acrylics, and it's a different process. Oil, you have to go slower, you have to let the paint dry in certain parts of the picture, and she just keep going over and over because the acrylic dries very fast. So she goes over and over and over. And sometimes I talk to her, leave it alone, but it's been like 20 years and I've been telling her
that's why
the
I
same
don't let
thing,
him in the studio.
And she doesn't do it. So
also with collectors, we have a lot of collectors who comes to the house or to my gallery and they love his work and they don't like mine, and we
vice versa.
And vice versa, you know. So we understand that perfectly. We have tried to fit things in, and I think it has been working. We have been married for 20 years now, and
But
I love him. I love him like the first day. What about you?
Yeah.
He hates to say he loves me.
But doesn't matter. The thing is that she's an artist and I'm an artist, and I respect that, and we are very different. The fact that we are married doesn't have anything to do, you know, to unify us in art. In life it is, but not in art. Okay, this is my studio. This is where I work. It's a very small place, but that's where I feel comfortable. I have ideas at 2 o'clock in the morning. I just jump from the bed to here. I always feel that the physical space, it doesn't really matter as much as the space in your mind and or your idea. Usually I work in this size, maybe a little bit bigger. That's it for me. I don't believe much on the size of the paintings, just the size of the ideas. I had an old easel that an old lady gave it to me about 20 years ago, and I will not paint on anything else. It's very old. I had to put cramps on it, and it's dirty. I have like an inch thick of paint, all paint, and but to me it's like a good luck charm. You know, you had the idea, you had the physical process, which is painting, and then you had the work. To me, it's more important the physical process, the painting, because when you do all this, you don't really know what you're doing until you finish it. And actually, you never finish, you abandon them. Right now, I don't have any galleries in Miami. I could get some, but my old gallery closed. I had a very good relationship with my dealer. And that's very important. You have to feel comfortable with whom you're working with. You know, somebody who thinks like you, like you get along through the same lines of thought. And like I had one dealer, she came to see my work and told me to go to a shrink. True. I'm very concerned about the social part of the work. It's not painting to selling, but you also have to make a living. And all the artists that don't say that is just not true. Actually, I love to have one big gallery that takes all the work and I don't have to do anything. But everybody has to do it sooner or later. It's not the easiest street. Painting is art. In general, it's very difficult. To make a living out of that is, for everybody, I think it's tough. This size, it takes me like, this is from 2000. I've been working 2001, 2002, probably tonight, because when I take them out, I see things that I want to include in this painting. That's what when I see my work somewhere else, you know, it's terrible because I see my work in exhibitions, museums and collections, and I want to just retouch a little bit of this part or that part, and I can't, and it's terrible. With this I can't. Tonight I will work a little bit of this. But it's, you know, you always want to add to that. You never finish.